Hey there Trekkies, I'm the Trek Lad and this is my review of Star Trek Discovery's Under the Twin Moons. In this, the second episode of Discovery's fifth and final season, Saru, on his final mission as Burnham's number one, teams with the captain as their race to locate the greatest treasure in the galaxy leads them to a planet that might not be as peaceful as it first appears to be. Just a quick heads up, this review will likely contain spoilers, so if you've not yet seen this episode, this might not be the video for you. If you're just looking for my overall thoughts, you can skip to the timestamp shown here on the screen. Let's warp into this. Much like the season opener, Under the Twin Moons is a decent episode. It's nothing great, but it's not bad either. It delivers some fun but forgettable action and does a serviceable job developing characters and doing just enough to move the story forward. From these first two episodes, Discovery appears to be attempting to blend episodic and serialized storytelling, but while that's good to see, I'm not really sure if there's too much worth revisiting here. The episode opens with a nice shot of space and a Burnham narration where she questions the universe and her place in it. It's more of the same old emo pseudo-intellectual stuff that Discovery loves to throw in at the start of its episodes. I'm pleased to say though that the rest of the episode's character stuff is much better. In a fun, if slightly cliched scene, we learn of the consequences of Rayna's action from the previous episode, as well as more about the captain himself. It turns out Rayna is a man out of time, a gruff and warrior-like captain whose struggle to adapt to life in more peaceful times has him at odds with his superiors to the point of being forced to take early retirement. 2 episodes in and Callum Keith Rennie is already a standout character, a grouchy blend of Lorca from season 1 and a jaded Dominion-era Sisko from Deep Space Nine. It's refreshing to see what would usually be Burnham's conflicts moved on to someone else. This change frees her up to show how far her character has come since her early days as Starfleet's shamed mutineer, something that Saru brings up during their away mission later in the episode. Season 5 Burnham is far more balanced and mature, shown as she criticises but refuses to completely denounce Rayna for his actions. All this is good character work that rewards viewers who have patiently stuck with the show. Also good is the show's exploration of the dynamic between Burnham and Saru, which makes up the bulk of the episode's drama. On what we're supposed to believe is their final away mission together, yeah, sure it is. The episode briefly goes a bit buddy cop with repeated mention of Saru's final mission, reminding me a bit of Danny Glover and Mel Gibson's duo from the Lethal Weapon movies. I can't lie, I've always preferred when the show presented Burnham and Saru as a clash of command styles, and I've never really brought the two as super close friends, despite all their hugs and forehead touches and stuff. The two often complement each other, insisting, usually through whispers and tears, on the qualities of their characters and how much they mean to each other, but it's all done through dialogue rather than any meaningful or memorable actions. Having said that, Doug Jones and Sonequa Martin Green do work well on screen together, and I can just about accept these two as colleagues who have been through a lot together over the years. Plot-wise, the episode nudges the story forward with a run-of-the-mill away mission that doesn't go quite as planned. When does it ever? The episode continues the season's TNG deep cuts by bringing back the Promelians, the ancient and seemingly long-dead race who caused plenty of problems in that show's third season episode, Booby Trap. The action involving a swarm of deadly attacking drones also felt very similar to TNG's first season episode, The Arsenal of Freedom. Burnham and Saru are successful with their mission, solving the mystery in just the nick of time, and in a development that feels very similar, discover pieces to a map that will need to be assembled in order to complete their adventure. It's all very formulaic, but I'm not expecting wild innovation from the show at this point. Their success is owed in part to Rayna, who, with nothing better to do following his forced retirement, helps Tilly and Adira as they scramble through a load of really fast technobabble to find a way to nullify the threat of the drones. I'm not quite sure how any of this happened though. Rayna is somehow able to holo-transmit himself onto Discovery because something along the lines of he's old and he's done this stuff before. Okay then. On the subject of this holotech, I do find the glitching to be a bit strange. Every other piece of tech we've seen in the 32nd century seems to work without a problem, so why the glitching here? We saw this tech do some strange things in the show's earlier seasons, but we've also seen this tech work perfectly in DS9's For the Uniform, a show that, just to remind you, takes place 800 years before this one. Now, I know why they do it, to constantly remind us that these characters aren't in the same room. If that's the case, why not just add some sort of glow or a slightly different hue that distinguishes them from the people who are actually there. I mean, they're ripping off enough stuff from Star Wars already, right? You can't tell me that they have all this magical technology and still can't get a decent signal. I refuse to accept this. The episode concludes with the crew learning that Trill is likely the next stop in their intergalactic treasure hunt, a development that I imagine will give Adira plenty to do and might see the return of their partner Grey. Saru departs the ship to resume his new position, leaving a big number 1 sized hole which Burnham quickly fills by offering the spot to Rayna. It's a welcome but slightly predictable move that ensures that we continue to get more of their respectful but combative dynamic that I think the show has missed for quite some time. It'll be interesting to see how the two work together. It feels like an inverse of the relationship Burnham had with Lorca when she first came to the Discovery. A fun mirroring that, if the writers are doing their jobs properly, should continue to show how far Burnham has come as a leader and as a hero. I'm still preparing for Rayna to be revealed as the season's secret villain, however. Callum Keith Rennie is just too good as a bad guy, and Discovery has a bit of a reputation for taking this kind of strong-willed but flawed character and having them turn out to be a bit of a dick. I'm really hoping I'm wrong though, as it would be a very welcome subversion of expectation. Under the Twin Moons won't win points for originality, but it does just enough to move the adventure forward in a way that avoids it being considered a filler episode. It has some good character development, particularly with Burnham, Saru and Rayna, but also with some of its supporting characters too. I'm not sure if it's an episode that will warrant many rewatches going forward, but it's another passable episode of Discovery that is perfectly entertaining if you don't mind formulaic action and 100-mile-an-hour technobabble. Again, like the season's first episode, if you like Discovery, you'll probably enjoy this. If you don't like the show, I don't really know why you're here at this point. For that reason, I'm giving Under the Twin Moons a 6 out of 10. But what did you think of this episode? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this coming soon. Until next time, I'm the Trek Lad. Live long and prosper.